saw him with his sidearm or pistol just by his side. And there were people who were asking a lot of security questions that, is it right to allow another head of state get closer to your president with a pistol? How about if something came up and he pulled it and shot him? Let's all ask ourselves this question. We know he's not cool even with the, I don't know if he's really cool or not cool, but we know when they started, having this conversation about Russia and France, the ECOWAS was on the side of France, and then, the ECOWAS head, who happens to be the president of Nigeria, wasn't really cool with Niger, Burkina Faso going away from ECOWAS. And so what if this young man just put up the gun and shot the president of Nigeria?
DJ Paco Rich.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to the channel. My name is DJ Paco Rich, popularly known as Mazi in Nigeria. In other parts of Nigeria, they choose to call me Otumba. Some will also call me Siriki. Some will call me Ezemo. And I respond to all these beautiful names because it is from the lovely people of Nigeria, what we call Alata for in Ghana, yes, or what we call Oga. In Ghana, when somebody starts addressing you as Oga, meaning he knows that you're a Nigerian. And I know you guys also call us Charlie, and it's beautiful. So, the president of Burkina Faso, I mean, let's say he's the president now because he's the head of state now at the moment. Yes, the president of Burkina Faso, he was in Ghana for the inauguration of our president, and this is his picture. Yes, he is trending in Ghana for two major reasons, two very good reasons, and I'm going to share that with you, and also to seek for your opinion. This is a platform that we seek to share information, we educate ourselves, and also we entertain ourselves. So there are certain things, I might be the host, but I would not know it all. Sometimes I have to bring it to intellectuals like you, professionals like you, people who knows and who are experienced like you, to also contribute and also share your own, wisdom on issues like that. Because this is about Africa, and when it's about Africa, we all have to speak about. So he's trending for two reasons, and I'm going to bring the positive one first. When he came to Ghana, he was the head of state that received the loudest applause. I mean, it looks like a lot of Ghanaians love this young chap for his works that he's been doing, for how he has taken over Burkina Faso, and he's taking drastic decisions that they feel that it's turning the, fortunes of the country. And so there are a lot of Africans, not only Ghanaians, but there are a lot of Nigerians, Burkina Faso, Cote d'Ivoire, Ivorians, just name them, who were very happy to see him one-on-one yesterday when he came to Ghana. He did something very extremely beautiful. When he went to greet our head of state, who has been, elected as the next president. In Ghana, we elect the vice president and we elect the president. So when they elect the president, he chooses his running mate, who happens to be the vice president. In the history of Ghana, for the first time, we have chosen a female vice president. And her name is Professor Nana Poku. Yes, Professor Nana Poku, who happens to be from Komenda, my hometown. She's a fancy woman who schooled in Wesley Girls Senior High School, very popular, and school for the rich people, if I might say. And so she's the vice president. And when the Burkina Faso head of state was asked to go and greet the vice president and the president, he did something extremely cool. We always see him wearing this cap they call beret or whatever. But upon greeting the first lady, the vice president, who happens to be a lady, he took off the cap. which we all know that when one takes off his cap to greet you, it's a huge sign of respect. I don't know much about Burkina Faso culture, but when he was greeting the man, he had his cap on. But when he was greeting the mother, the woman, and you know that guy is a very young guy, he's in his 30s, so Professor could be the mother of, that young man. He took off his cap and then also greeted her, and it was beautiful. I mean, people really, he won the hearts of a lot of people just by that act. And a lot of people applauded him. But one thing that has been in a conversation after the Burkina Faso president visited or came to grace the occasion when the new Ghanaian president was being stooled as the president was, people saw him with a sidearm or pistol just by his side. And there were people who were asking a lot of security questions that, is it right to allow another head of state get closer to your president with a pistol? How about if something came up and he pulled it and shot him? Let's all ask ourselves this question. We know he's not cool even with the, I don't know if he's really cool or not cool, but we know when they started, having this conversation about Russia and France, the ECOWAS was on the side of France, and then, the ECOWAS head, who happens to be the president of Nigeria, wasn't really cool with Niger, Burkina Faso going away from ECOWAS. And so what if this young man just put up the gun and shot the president of Nigeria because he had issues with? And so a lot of security experts are saying that it was very, very, very unprofessional on the side of the Ghanaian security or the Ghanaian national security to allow him take his gun close to your president. After all, they will say it was a national event that had maximum security everywhere. And so it was needless for him to have his pistol everywhere. And it wasn't just he's sitting close to other dignitaries. He still had a sidearm. I personally love this man. He's a military man. He's a soldier. But I feel like, that wasn't so cool when there were lots of, he had all his guards armed around him. So they could do that. But then to get closer to other head of states without taking off your sidearm, I felt it's dangerous, and people have really raised concern. A lot of people were saying that, he did same when he was with Putin. I feel that's not true, because I've seen this picture, I've seen a couple of videos with him and Putin with no sidearm, because I'm not sure the Russia president's security will allow that. And this is not the first. This thing happened some months ago when the U.S. vice president was coming to Ghana. The U.S. have to dictate for the Ghanaian security details. And so they actually searched all their security men and placed them in some one corner, and the American security took over, which I feel it's about time Africa will rise up over these things. When you come to our country, you have to play by our rules, not your rules. And so these are the concerns of people. But I don't know what you also think, that when next time he's visiting any other African head of state, he should take off his sidearm, especially when they are getting closer. This is our Speaker of Parliament in Ghana. And just imagine, he was greeting him and he had a pistol there. What if something triggered and just, put up the gun and shot him? That would have been very disastrous. And then we don't know how that conversation would have gone or sounded. So if you're a security expert and you know much about this and you want us to dialogue about these things, you can, hit me up in the comment section. We'll definitely talk about it. But for now, people seem not so happy with that act, even though they loved his presence here in Ghana. They loved everything that he did. But to keep your sidearm in the midst of other head of state, we had Rwanda, we had Togo, we had Sierra Leone, we have Gabon. We had a lot of people. And big ups to all the Nigerian dignitaries that came through. The Regina Daniels' husband was also here. Pato Rankin, musician, was also here. And we're really, really grateful for such a wonderful thing, love shown by Nigeria, especially when they were installing their very own John Mahama. Big ups, guys. Let me know what you think. If you think otherwise, just drop it in the comment section. And share this video. Let people get to know what's happening in Africa. A new revolution is coming. Ghana's president has decided to sack all the foreign military bases in Ghana. And at first, Senegal is doing the same. Revolution. That time is coming. Africa will truly be independent one day.
DJ Paco Rich.